What up, what up, what up, what up? Today is Wednesday, so we've got a Watermelon Wizard Wednesday Presents, where we deconstruct one of my games and talk about where I could improve. Pretty simply put. Um, I wanted to talk about. Is it this one? 1 and 10. That's the one. Alright. Hi, and my name's Old Man Nene, or Nathan. It's a pleasure to meet you. If this is your first time hanging out on my channel, I stream on Twitch 3, 4 times a week, something like that, whatever. And it's nice to meet you. Oh, it's not loading. Uh-oh. Alright. It's nice to meet you. You'll one day probably know me as the best League of Legends player in the whole planet, but today you know me as a man who, in order to learn League, goes through the most roundabout fucking methods in his whole life. Now, I have it on pause real quick before we start. Let's talk about those roundabout methods. These last couple weeks, I've been underperforming as we learn the language of Nathan. And last night, I had taken a week off because I was sick and I needed an Ethernet cable bad. Bad, bad, bad. And I'm switching internet providers, but not the point today. The point is that my frustration had reached I wouldn't say peak, but it had reached a point. And finally, through my many methods outside of League of Legends, such as meditation, I've been able to look at my frustration a little bit better and come to love it a little bit better. So today, we play into my frustrations because that's a version of me that's asking me to do something pretty specific in order to feel the most love in this world. And that is to rewatch this game and critique the fuck out of it. And boy, 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 are we about to critique. So we gotta open up our tools. Let's make this camera a little bit smaller. Watermelon Wizard Wednesday. Alright. We're gonna pull out our spreadsheet. I don't actually have a spreadsheet for this yet. So we're gonna run into many different types of mistakes today. And we're gonna label them as we go, but the first ones that come to my mind are intention, and then subcategory lack of intention. Then we have, oops, apologies, I do have to close this. I opened up the wrong thing. Alright, let's try that again. So we have intention, lack thereof. We have things such as overconfidence. Then some other types of intentions that we might run into today are, here, I'll put my camera over here so we can hang out. Other types of intentions we might run into today are not limit testing, but actively going towards hardship. So, oops, well, let me type. Actively going towards hardship. I don't know why we do that. Sometimes we'll say like, oh, this is going to be a very bad scenario to go into. Let's see if it works. And it's not limit testing at that point. It's just monkey brain. I don't know. Some part of me isn't willing to put in the work to know the answer in that scenario. And those are off the top of my head what types of mistakes we might see today. Let's get into it. Let's go watch some game. final score for this game, 110 and like 4. Not good. And at one point, I myself stated that I had made 14 mistakes in a span of 5 seconds. And I'm super interested to see the validity of that number. I'm in the middle of the game and I say, oops, I just made 14 mistakes in the span of 5 seconds. Alright, so we're out of the gate. We're already moving on the map, which means that we're not on our phone and we're not eating our yogurt yesterday. Which, you know, I'll give myself some positive points because sometimes I fuck up in that area. I'm watching low side, which means that Talia is actually weak right now. And then I pull out. I didn't ward. In all honesty, to my standards, that's a lack. I lacked intention with that. I'm not doing too much right now. I wonder if I wake up and I realize that I created a weak spot for my Talia to get destroyed by Fiora. I at least poked my head into that bush. And I poked my head into this one. But yeah, I covered a little, but I didn't fully cover. So I realized my mistake and my lack of intention from earlier, which is positive point. Positive point. Let's do intention realization, something like that. So I realized my lack, and I attempted to cover a little bit. I'll give myself a point. Let's watch our laning phase. Staying at the good distance. We got good danger distance. That is another type of mistake. Distancing. Danger. Heat map. Engagement. Okay, I like those categories. Those are good ones. Apologies for me setting this up in the middle of this video, but I mean, it's your choice to stay or not stay. That's as simple as it is. It's your choice to stay or not stay. I have much cooler videos that I posted other times. Any of the ones that are going to have the same title card as this Watermelon Wednesday are going to be exactly this. It's going to be pretty boring, but it means I get to post weekly, and claim that I post weekly, right? Um, Alright, lack. So we noticed our lack, but we recovered a little bit. So, point. Good danger distancing so far. I won't give myself the point just yet because we need to demonstrate it over a longer period of time. Got our CS. Poor danger distancing. Yeah, I didn't need that punishment. If I don't have a reason to take the damage, I shouldn't take the damage. And sometimes you plan to take damage to look weak in certain scenarios. That's not this. That was a lack of understanding my danger distances. And therefore, if you're not understanding your danger distances, you're not as present in the game. And presency is my #1 tool to getting better. Because that's all what intention is about. Anytime I post one of these, it is no editing, raw footage. So expect exactly what you're getting right now. I'm overly... I'm not giving her a lot of engagement right now. But maybe that's my plan. is to let her try to get her cheetah recall and then change my mind. I couldn't tell you. I didn't play this game that well. Yeah, I think that I lacked some engagement there. So, as a practicable mistake, -1 point. Just because not always are you going to get punished, but
I shall perform your rites.
not always are you going to get punished, but doesn't mean I can't practice. P. Okay, let's try P. So, let's see. I'm about to engage into some set of choices here. She's pushing decently hard. I use my E to kill the melee, which is a choice. I use my E to kill the melee instead of sack melee, E cannon. If I sack melee, E cannon, I don't have to do any of what I'm doing right now. Let's see how bad what I'm doing is. Good dodge. Good dodge. Understanding the opponent's tools. Tools. I'll give myself a point for that. You may be like, nay, this is gonna take forever if you're doing points so willy-nilly like this. But yeah, this is Mark 1. Well, actually, this is Mark several. This is Mark several of doing spreadsheeting for this exact scenario. And eventually we'll hone it in. Eventually we'll hone it in. It's as simple as that. So we're just raw dogging this shit right now. And you're along for the ride if you choose to be. Let's see. Good autos. Good autos. Ward instantaneously. Hit the E. Land the Q. Get out of there. I have flash, but my flash auto doesn't kill there. So, good choices by me. I know she wants to back right now, so I've got my dudes pushing, and then I go up and cancel her. Taking a tower shot. Hold on. Taking a tower shot. Whoa. Why did directed camera change? Come on, buddy. Let's see. Plus, 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 minus, minus, minus. Let's take a look at my reaction speeds here. She cancels. I walk all the way up for another 0.75, 0.6 seconds. Poor reaction speeds. Terrible reaction speeds. That is a danger distancing point, and we'll actually add that to intention. Insert one row above RXN. Terrible reaction speeds. It's like I need to be measuring what options they have under their belt, what tools they have under their belt, and if canceling her back herself is one of the choices she's going to make, I gotta have that floating around already as an option in my head. So then when it does occur, I don't do something stupid like take a tower shot for free. If for some reason I needed to take the tower shot, I would choose to in that scenario still. But that was not a choice. Maybe I crashed there instead. Oh, this is the point where I make 15 or 14 mistakes in the span of 5 seconds. Look at her just sit there. Contemplating for so long. I cannot believe that I did not win this lane. Yikes, dude. We fucked up. To not win against somebody like that is just an oversight and a half. Alright, so let's begin here on when my accidents start occurring. I throw a nonsensical E that does nothing. She's not in danger range. Intention, lack, overconfidence, hardship, lack of intention on that one, I would say. We're lacking intention on that E. We're like, I hope it hits her. That's, come on, Nene. That's one mistake. Second mistake, we have Mark coming up on our south side, and we walk fully up into her. We start to turn around. Maybe we figured out what's right and wrong. Okay, subtract the second mistake. We're still at one. I'm just baiting, apparently. Now, we've lost all sight of what we want to do. We see a low HP target, and we forget about our W. Minus on tools. And danger distancing, because we've moved into her mark with her tools. I'll get total of 3 points so far for this single play. Queuing in to her thing, that's tools again. 4 points, I would say. Forgetting about her ignite, I remember that. I remember I was like, ah, fuck, she had ignite. 5. 5 mistakes.
The damned resist their fate.
Utilizing our W and our flash improperly at the same time. That's either one mistake or two. If I flash, then I W on top of myself once she flashes, we could still turn this and get the kill. So I'll mark it as one mistake for tools. But I'll also mark it as a mistake for lack. So 7 mistakes so far in this span. She flashes. Do I remember if she has a ward here or not? I have ignite on me. Um, could have at least got the grasp. I'll count it as 8 mistakes in total. um, 8 mistakes in total. Darn, not even close to 14. But generally, we got the right idea. Teleporting to there. So then we can try and keep her engaged. Teleporting to there to try and keep her engaged. If I teleport here, what benefits do I yield? If I teleported here... Wow, this is going to be a long recording. Good luck anybody who chooses to watch this. If I teleport here, she might give up on the wave. I'm most likely immediately granted prio by this teleportation. I've got double wards. I feel... oh, no, I've got single ward. I'm red. I'd feel decently safe to have teleported here, but safety isn't the reason I chose here. The reason I chose here is to just give her a false sense of security and staying for these next couple minutes. Let's see how it shakes out before I give myself any points for engagement. Directed camera. We're letting her push. We're just letting. Letting. Get a free Q. Poor E, but I won't minus any points. Gank. Perfect. I will give myself some positive points in that game. I had good engagement and heat map, which we haven't talked about what heat map is, but we'll just leave it as there. Good engagement, good tools, and generally I had a plan. So I will give myself lack positive, which is lack of intention slash thought. So I did have thought. 3 points. That's not bad. I missed the E. I fucked up a lot of like basic things, but basics, missed, missed shit. Lol. I don't weigh the basics too heavily. Just because, in all honesty, these things just matter a lot more to me. Like, oh, I missed a knee. Okay, well, is it out of whack? Oh, that's a big issue. Oh, I missed an E just because, you know what, she was better. I pressed E with a little bit of overconfidence, but not like enough to demonstrate a point. Missed shit, lol. That's how it feels in my head, at least right now. I mean, in the future, it will change, especially once we figure out more of why. But right now, we're just gonna say miss shit lol and have that be a little miscellaneous bucket. Otherwise, good play. We start calling the wave. We need to call a little bit more aggressively. Yeah, now we don't even get the proper freeze off. Yep. Buzz. Basics. Wave management. Wave management. This one I do weigh heavily. Improper wave management will lose you the game. Will lose you the game. And wave management with Yorick specifically, and all other champions, but Yorick specifically is the most important thing. If we can re-ascertain our wave management, our macro and our heat maps change drastically for the rest of the game. Your early game and your practice and what you're moving towards and what energies you're putting in define your late game and what energies you're able to put in towards a kill the Nexus gambit. So, quite obviously, if I can't manage my wave, I have no macro potential this game. And I weigh that very heavily. And you're like, Nathan, you're being too hard on yourself. It's like, no, I would say, the best Yorick player in the world, and I have some of the best macro in the world. And you're not going to see anybody who's able to play like me on the up and out world stage when I get there. You're going to be like, oh shit, what the fuck was he cooking with? And you'll see that it was exactly this. Danger distancing. You could have just stood still, but I dodged. Minus a point, Nene. Why? Because I'm a bitch. Danger distancing. Reaction speeds was good, but I won't give myself a point if it's in the wrong direction. The proper reaction speed is to choose to do nothing there. I don't think she could dash if she engages her W, but if she dashes then W, she can. She poked me. How prissy do I want to get with that poke? Hold on. I'm deciding exactly how in depth I want to go. That one right there. I wanted to decide how in depth I want to go, but also I'm going to just raw dog it every Wednesday and figure out how in depth I want to go. So 14 Wednesdays from now and 14 videos from now, I'll figure out what kind of flavor I want to put into this game. But we are at the 23-minute marker in my recording, and we've only gotten a quarter through the game, so I got to be a little bit realistic, you know, a little bit realistic. But, you know, every ounce of frustration I have at the end of the day changes based on this behavior that I'm doing right now, which is being able to look at myself in the mirror and say, I am trying. So when I balance my goal of getting to Worlds versus what effort I'm putting in, this is the effort. This is the effort right here, and I fucking love myself for it. Every ounce of anger is actually just passion hiding somewhere. All right, so we just marked her with 4 guys. Hit her with a good E. Why is it a good E, would I say? Rather than just an E that happened to hit, which would be a lack that just led to a positive outcome. So, We've got our minions stacked here, and traditionally, as we're stacking some of these minions, what I want to do is slow take the next wave, then summon all my ghouls, is the game plan. That's if I had infinite presence and infinite capacity against my laner. That is not the case currently. We are against a Fiora, which is, in most Yorick's cases, they say hard. I enjoy the Fiora matchup just because he gets my blood pumping. And if my blood's pumping, it's a good matchup for me. Um, so we know exactly what distance she wants to engage in, and we catch her lacking. She's not paying attention enough. So I just throw an E out, and I knew she wasn't paying attention enough. That's just flavor. I'm pretty good. My skills are in I know the flavor of my opponent. Basics, intention distancing. I don't know what flavor category. Read. Flavor. I know the flavor of my boys. I am very. That is my highest skill probably, and I would love to show you what it means at its high end, but right now we are in a slump and a half in my play. Okay, let's take a check at what we're doing. Not bad CSing. Then this is where I made my mistake to take a little bit of damage, which I did not plan to take. Right now we are at an excellent HP. This is a perfect amount of HP. If we had more HP, we would actually be semi-upset. You're like, Nathan, why? Because this amount of HP ensures that she wants to fight. This is perfect right here. If we stayed right here and we slowly queued our way up to full, that'd be okay. But right here is the amount of HP we want. And then we're going to take damage and fuck up. Getting stuck on minions, not having a lot of choice and direction of how I'm feeling. I'm not going to give myself the danger distancing point. I'm going to give myself a heat map point. Heat map is just a radiating circle around somebody of like your red, yellow, and green zones. And you're like, that's a little bit different than danger distancing because we're including the yellow and the green. And the yellow and the green are what space we want to take for our engagement ranges. And yellow is where all the fun shit happens. Yellow, if we could permanently be in the yellow zone, then we are the best player in the world. Permanently in the yellow zone and not get punished, that means we are actively taking their yellow pixels and turning them green. We are winning the constant fight and constant battle. But we'll see a lot of mistakes. So I take that bit of damage. Poor heat mapping. I need to, when heat mapping, you account for every single unit in the entire game, including objectives that have spawned and objectives that have yet to spawn. So, for example, negative heat map emanating from this pit here. Positive heat map, it has value. This camp right here, 15 seconds ago before it was taken, positive heat map. They take it. This is all dead area. If our jungler were to respawn and head into her bot side, she'd be wasting her time. She'd be wasting her time. Unless she had some specific plan to lane gank or something like that, she would be actively participating towards lack of understanding in a heat map. And that's what heat mapping is. Is my explanation friendly towards people who happen to come from lower ranks? Maybe, maybe not. But honestly, if you do not find use in all my numbers in my exact explanation, find use in my energy. Find use in my positivity and my love towards myself and my own play. And how I circumvent my frustrations in this highly frustrating game. You can scapegoat your mistakes onto other players and say, damn, he fed. He went 1 and 10 while I went 5 and 0. But honestly, if you want to improve in this game and play better, when you lose the game and you went 5 and 0, you need to take a magnifying glass to your own play like I am now and go, oh shit, I could still improve. Because I can't control what they feel. I can't. I mean, I could do some pings and I could do some general shepherding. I could go like, hey, we got to do this thing over here. But anything beyond that is really going to be not worth your time unless you're a pre made 5 man. That's my answer. You may think it's worth your time to put them in a box over here as an unskilled player, but you met on the Rift today as equals. Pre-decided and predetermined by our ranks. We were equals, you know, 6 minutes ago when this game started. Ooh, okay, I fucked up, but I placed my W. Placing my W could have led to a stun there. If it led to a stun, I would have instantly died. So let's just talk about that. Um, Tools. I'll give myself the reaction point. Negative on tools though, and lack of thought. So -2+1. -2+1. And I won't give it danger distancing. Yeah, that was poor danger distancing, but I think it stems more from a lack of thought. And how much do I really need to... -3+1. I don't care. I like being a hard ass in this scenario. If I don't get to be a hard ass now, I don't get to be free when I play. That's the answer of it all. If I don't get to be a hard ass now, I don't get to be a free-form bird when I play. I want to be dancing and smiling when I play. So I need to have some times where I get to be a dick and a half. Alright, we grab our R, start maiden gaming, start our recall. She procs Hydra on us. Poor danger distancing. We forgot about Hydra. But this HP isn't too poor. I'll decide on if I'm gonna give us the minus danger distancing point. Right now, in this area of play, I happen to have a lot of lack of thought. Yeah, alright, we're just gonna do lack of thought. We're not gonna do danger distancing on that one. In this area of play, I happen to have a lot of lack of thought, and that's because I try to culminate a look like I have a lack of thought. Like, oh, if I back here, it might look like I have a lack of thought. But I need to know when to utilize looking like a dumbass just enough to pique their interest. AKA, if I had my jungler over here, that would have been not so bad. It actually probably would have ended in both of us dying, but let's pretend in a world where it doesn't. Would have been not so bad. Um, but that's not the case. That's not the case. I am pulling out from my toolbox the look like an idiot button way too often. So, um, give him 2 hits on Maiden. We pull back here, still fake recalling, by the way. We're trying to get her to push a little bit quicker. That wasn't bad. I liked that one. That one was good. That one was good. Um, that one was good engagement. We'll give it a positive point. That was proper engagement. Maiden is far up, but she has Hydra. Missed the W. Poor reaction speeds. Oops. Poor reaction speeds. If we see her dash and we hit the W while she's under tower and damages us, it just spells the end of the lane for her, which is one of my favorite reasons why I like this lane, is it tests my reaction speeds. And if you don't test shit, you're not going to improve. You're not going to improve. But you need to test things from a area of intention. Now, she's under tower. Tower shot's on its way. Get my AQ in. She mismanages her tools. I press B immediately. With no intention of backing, once again. With no intention of backing. I press B immediately. Why? Because we have this giant wave coming into her. And she has 2 options. She can semi-cull the wave, but she will be unable to freeze it. Or she could push the wave to try and get back at me. Let's see what she chooses. Neither. She does not force my hand. Instead, she opts to walk up, take a shit ton of damage, and try to play chicken with me. She hits her W. It doesn't proc, which is nice. But, like, she's just not utilizing all of her tools properly. I don't have my E, so I can't really punish here. But I instantly just hit my back again. Honestly, the better play would have been to have chased her for a quarter second and then started my back right here right now, not having started it here. That would have been the preferred play. Because if I start my back here right now, she would be engaged as fuck. And that's all we're trying to do is up our engagement numbers. But we opt for walking up to the CS. And I will give myself. We'll wait and see if I get an engagement point worth of engagement. Maiden takes a bit of damage. You could opt that to be mistakes, but I'm not skilled enough to know when it's a mistake versus when it's just a casualty of war. You know? Casualties of war happen all the fucking time. Hit the E, saved up enough. I have enough mana for a Q. I come up for the auto, land the single auto, break both of her tools, run away. Fucking awesome engagement. I will give myself 2 points for the precursor back. That was pretty excellent. And then that engagement as well. I will give myself a reaction point. We knew exactly what could be going on there. We had a great set of thoughts. Oops. Sorry. A reaction point. We had a great set of thoughts going into that. And an excellent understanding of her danger distances. Anything else? Missed shit. Oh, wave management. Flavor. I'm just going to give myself a full frontal set of points on that one. We did excellent. We knew exactly. This is a game from last night. This isn't me critiquing what happened in the play. This is me critiquing my thought process behind each and every play. With full honesty. With full honesty. And I hope that other players can learn how to do this as well. It takes forever. We're 37 minutes into this recording, and it's not going to be cut. It's going to be raw footage. We go back up knowing that we just kicked her motherfucking ass. Let's get some fixed camera. That'll help me. And now if we can get Maiden autoing the wave, we can win. We just got to get Maiden autoing the wave. Not the worst back, but we'll see how it all plays out. Ooh, I remember this one. I was questioning in my head, does the W stop the slow? Does it stop the mark? I had forgotten. It had been a week that I hadn't played, and on top of that, just in general, I had forgotten. So I'd asked the question, and you know what? I will not mark any mistakes for my lack of information. That's just basic limit testing. That one's limit testing right there. I said, oh, I don't know if her W blocks mark and slow. And it blocks everything. It blocks everything. I was like, oh, damage, hard CC, whatever. So I am unable to get the kill here because I questioned things. In all honesty, in those scenarios, you could either accept that you don't know something and just go for it, or you can play around the fact that you don't know something and allow yourself to discover a new set of play, aka outweight her W, then land the E. Then she dies, guaranteed. And you know what? That's awesome. I don't have the skill to do that in every waking moment of my play, and I'm not going to critique myself for that, because that is ridiculous. But you know what I will do? Da, da, da. The vision. The vision. A lot of blue category. The blue category. The vision. There is a thing that we could have done. We had a third option. All along. Get tricked, motherfucker. You thought there was 2 columns. There's 3. There's a third option all along. The third option is, what voices in our head are we using when we come to problems? My voice is, I see a problem, I'm going to butt heads with it every single time until I figure it out. But there's also the other side, which is, I can accept that I don't know something and yet play better in another way. Ooh, brutal. From her angle earlier, this means that I lacked the understanding of her flavor as a person. Ah, yeah, from her angle earlier, she ducked and dived. Darn, she's a ducker and a diver, ain't she?
The Isles remember.
Ah, ducker and a diver. Alright, that's minus a flavor point. That sucks. Minus a flavor point. I misascertained her flavor. She was coming at this angle, but then she looped back in. Outplayed my ass. That sucks. That's a real outplay there. I did, yeah. Darn. Get some tower, get 1 plate and a half. Walk, 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 walk. Then begin my backing process. Get some plants. Choose.
An eternal ring.
Did they have vision in this area? What caused them to walk here? Let's see. She is starting it. I am here. If I just step back and start my recall, I'm out. They have no vision on her currently. Does anybody ping anything? They're on dragon. I start my back. I'm on my way. Fiora sights me. Fiora sights me. Fiora sights me. Fiora sights me. Rotation. My fault. I inted our jungler. Bad backing. Poor understanding of heat maps, first off. Basics. Let's add another basics. Insert 1 row above. Backing. Safe. Backing safe. Backing safe includes all your timings and how prissy of a bitch you can be. Backing safe is a fun thing to actually work towards. If you could get all your timings properly, you could be the biggest bitch on the Rift. Minus a point backing safe, minus a point for heat mapping. I fucked over our jungler and killed her. Lack of thought in general. Yeah. Lack of thought in general. I cause her to die, and my maiden dies, and I have a poor back timer there. Ooh. I don't even get to back. That's the punishment that I received from that play. A large punishment that was that's deserved. Taking damage when I really ought not to. There's no reason for me to take that damage. In this type of a game, you're going to see, I'm not playing well. That's why we're watching this game. That's why we're watching this game. Not all games are you going to see so many numbers. Against like a Yone, our danger distancing number is going to be a lot different than our Fiora danger distancing number, just because she's a skirmisher. And Yone is a skirmisher sometimes too, but in my cases, I force him to be an all-in champion, which is the way I try and win against him. CSing point. We got everything. CSing could be a vibe or a specific situation. I'll give that just 1 point because we did everything proper there. It's not too impressive, but it's everything proper. Am I accounting for that bush? Yes, I am, baby. I've got your flavor. Holy shit. I've got your flavor, you dumb bitch. All right, 3 points flavor. We'll give it a thought point as well. You dumb bitch. Sorry, I'm cursing. That first one, warranted. The second one, not warranted. All right. TP is up. We're forcing her options. We have no reason to back here because I don't really plan on. Ooh, I should have hit her with the Q. Should have hit her with the Q. See, this is. I think the vision category needs to be absolved back in. Because it's like, we could just play better. We could just play better if we had more reactions. So, that one, maybe I just make that the red category of vision. I don't want to count the other one as a failure. I want to count it as something I'll meditate on and change in my lifestyle. Which is like, yeah, it's still a failure, but it seems disrespectful to myself to count it as a full frontal failure. We could count that as a reaction point, but it's like it stems from a lack of thought. So I could count it as a lack of thought point. I found my answer. I will count it as a lack of thought. Okay, let's check out what's going on now. Wow, we are only halfway through the game. But once we get into macro, I guess it might shorten up. Letting our wave slow, 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 slow. Ooh, take some damage. Flash out of both of us. Ooh, brutal. Just barely. Just barely. It's kind of nice to watch this replay and look at her healing. Her healing is... It's nice to see it from this point of view. Lack of thought. It was improper danger distancing, but that's an edge case. I don't want to be too mean to myself. I lied. Wave management, backing safe, CSing. We had teleport. We wanted to just lack of thought, overconfidence, hardship, reaction, danger, heat map, engagement, tools, miswave shit. She had her ignite. We should have known that she had her ignite. Tools point. I think that time around I forgot she had ignite. Mission. Oh, wait a minute. Backing save. CSing. Yeah, I think minus 3 points for that one is deserved. Our jungler wasn't doing too good this game either, but she was apologetic, and I was also apologetic. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! What did I just miss? Hold on. What the fuck was that? Oh, man. Darn. Oh, I tried going for an auto. Come on. I knew she was in there. I knew she was in there. I wasted my time on an auto. Lack of thought point, dude. I knew she was in there. Come on. I'll just do reaction speeds too. Just because it's like, you have to react. No. Situational awareness. Basics, distancing. Basics. Basics. We'll do a basics. Row below. Mental. I must have been in my head if I didn't really think of it in time. I'll give myself a mental point. That's poor mental. Pay attention, Nene. Come on. Really? Oh, jeez. That's brutal. Okay. That's brutal, man.
The Isles remember.
Just sitting here. Talia pushes up. Oh, shit. Intentions distancing. Read. Read. Read, 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 read. Reading the play, heat map danger, engagement, tools. We might have to, you know what, for now, we're just going to create another category, even though that's not good. That means that we'll probably end up creating a new version of this next time, next Wednesday. Just because we need to be more succinct, but this one is just going to be communication. Minus a point. We should have, lack of thought. We should have communicated that this was just going to be a poor situation for her to be coming into. We should have been like, no, 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 no. This is not what we want. But we let her walk all the way in.
I must dig.
Now, this is the situation at hand. I raise my ghouls. I walk in and get stunned. There's no threats on board yet. In fact, she's actually wasted her W. We see that barreling towards us. No reaction. No reaction. Minus a reaction point. We're going to watch this full speed after the end of it.
Take shape.
Drops my W. Accounts for if she had R. She does not have R. Tools point. And maybe it's not my fault, but I'll take it as my fault because I didn't see her use it earlier. Tools point. I am fully accounting for if Lilia has R here. I thought she's trying to tail end mark Talia while the tail end of me is still persisting and then get the double R. That's what I think here. That's what's going through my head. Not the worst W, but I peel off in a terrible fashion because I'm accounting for Lilia R. I'm like, I'm going to make the most of whatever I can here. Hopefully she gets out. She turns inward. I summon Maiden.
See the maiden.
We're not going to count that against me just yet, but it will be in 13 seconds when it doesn't work for me. General Q. What spells do I have up? 3 seconds till E. I turn towards her. Get the Q. She misses. Brutal. Brutal. I overcommit that direction. Got my ankles broken. Basic auto. I think I had my E up far too long. Let's take a check. Plus, 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 plus. Plus, plus, plus. Minus, 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 minus. My E's up. 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 I had underconfidence. Come on, Nene. Come on, Nene. Come on, Nene. Doesn't die. I realize that I can't do anything about this situation anymore. And I at least chance it over here. Okay. We're gonna say that, come on, Nene. We need to have, that's not overconfidence. Underconfidence is fuck, dude. Come on. You need to insert one row below. Underconfidence. That's minus a point, dude. That's fucked up. You saved your E so long just because you were scared. You were spooked. You're like, what if I miss? What if I miss? What if I miss? And that was the only thing going through my head. Poor reaction speeds. Got my ankles broken. In general, just a bad understanding of heat mapping. I didn't try for proper engagement of opponents during any of this, but that's because I thought I had Lilia R. I already marked the tools on the Lilia R, so I'm not going to mark engagement. Miss shit lol. Weight management, backing, safe, CSing, mental flavor, communication. That's all the points I'm gonna get. Then I do my only option available to me at this point, which is to just try and hit the Q. And W's back up, because it was used at the start. Let's watch it all over from the start here. The whole thing at normal pacing. Yeah.
I shall perform your rites. The ruins of these isles rise to smite you. Feel its pull.
Yep. That's how that goes. Let's get this under an hour. Just kidding. There's no fucking way I get this under an hour.
The isles remember.
She takes my tower. CSing.
I must dig.
I don't think anything I'm doing is wrong here, except top lane is not pushing because I didn't leave my minions on it. If I leave my minions on it, it's good. Try to get her here. Miss my W. Didn't ascertain the danger of the scenario. Died. Okay. Perfect. Let's see. Miss shit lol. Bad reaction. Poor understanding of heat maps. And lack of thought. Simple as that. Actually, was my reaction good towards the idea? I found out that I had bad lack of thought. Did I react at least? Once I remembered that I had poor lack of thought? Let's see. They appear. Nope. That's a whole 0.55 seconds of chasing after them still. 0.55 seconds of chasing after them still. Poor lack of thought. Moving on. Let's go find more mistakes. Let's go brutalize my play. Auto, 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 auto. No, she's there. Auto, auto, auto. Get that auto. Bum, ba, ba, stop her back. Play like a bitch.
What's one more grave?
Okay. Let's watch that again. Okay. I was watching bot this whole time, and I found the best, most opportune time to teleport into this fight that I could see. Emilio gets his way out of there, and I'm coming up here. I R, waste of my time. Shouldn't have R'd. Blocks the TAMs. I should have E'd before I R'd, I think. But I block her out of her flight. E. I'm not risking it with her flash here. So I walk up to her, see that coming down, flash. Dodge, all's good in the hood. It's not pretty. I'm not doing well, but I didn't cause my team to implode.
Do not grieve.
Okay. We're not going to watch the rest of this fight. We're going to critique everything that I did. I had thought as to when I wanted to TP. I had intention. Whether it was good or bad, doesn't matter. I had thought. But I didn't put thought towards what tools I wanted to utilize first. So minus tools and lack of thought. Then I did utilize what tools I needed to utilize quick enough because I realized that I fucked up and I need to go quicker. That's a tools point. And flavor mental. See, heat map point. I'll give myself heat map point as well. Because I just realized I don't have the capacity to continue fucking up this play as hard as I already have. So I have to end it quickly. And that's a positive point there. Alright. This is going to go quicker, hopefully. Defending, basic stuff. I'm not going to remark on macro right now. I don't think that I'm smart enough to remark on macro hard enough. Like, who knows if I'm supposed to be defending top or mid right now. I don't personally know. She did get that. Yeah, that was dumb of her. She should have waited for him to start his W. But then I had poor reaction speeds to the situation and lack of thought. Because I chased. I was surprised that she W'd here instead of just waiting for him to use his tools. Because if she waits, then yeah. And I knew she was in that vicinity. I knew that this was a dangerous area to be in. But yet I chased, which is just int. That's just int. Which is poor mental, I guess. Because I'm no longer focused on victory. I'm focused on, I want to kill this frog. Fuck this game. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. My bad. 13. Going straight towards hardship. Yeah, we'll give myself a point there. Reaction speeds, poor. Danger, heat map engagement, tools. That's her own damn fault that she fucked that up. A miss shit low, women backing safe, CSing, mental flavor. I will also give myself one more point. For use eyes. I completely didn't see my Talia's W because I expected her to just W it when he started his jump. So in all honesty, I blacked out when she did use it, and then I questioned the fuck out of why she didn't have it later. I was like, what the fuck? Why didn't she use it? Because she already did use it when he bounced from here to here. I just wasn't watching, I guess. Things happen. I go bot. Who knows if that's right? I don't. Who knows? You know what? We're gonna just, the read. Intention. Like lane choice or something. I don't know. We're gonna, yeah, sure, lane choice. Row below. Lane choice. And we'll do -2 points because we just don't know why we're in a scenario. It's not about knowing that we're supposed to be in a scenario. The why. Like, why did I go bot lane? I don't have an answer. I picked one of the 3 lanes at near most random, wherever the CS was closest, instead of the most optimal play. Do I know what the most optimal play is sitting right here? Am I going to critique that? No, I'm not. I'm just going to say I moved because I moved. And that is not enough for me to go to Worlds and win it. That's the answer. I moved because I moved. Not enough. Not enough. I knew red was a heat map zone. I went to block it off slightly. Heat map point. Moving on. I did what I was able to do, and I didn't overcommit. Good danger distancing. Then I also got some CS in the top thing. Perfect. Oops, I did those as minus points. 4, 7, 2, 3. There we go. That's decent. I do not mind that. I did what I could, then I got out of there when I couldn't. Simple as that. Now I'm running bot with Vhagar. All of a sudden I see him. I was looking bot to see if anybody was there, but he just kind of appeared on top of me because I wasn't looking at on top of me. That's a mistake there. Lane choice mistake. Just, if he's going to be so adamant, I need to either communicate or lane choice. In that case, I didn't know where he was, so it was lane choice. Use your eyes as well. Use your eyes point. Bam. Let's try and finish this up as quick as can. Bam, 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 bam. Hitting this. She summons that. I hop in the Herald right at top. Good stuff. Good stuff. I question if Tam is going to come kick my ass. I know he's on his way. I don't see the W. Poor reaction speeds. Let's see. Lack of thought, overconfidence. We need to have an adaptation. We'll just make another category. Why? Because I don't care. And we're going to raw dog this shit and figure it out next time. Good adaptation point. We rift trailed really well. Drove really well. Broke the tower. Blah, blah, blah. Took what we can. That's a good understanding of heat map. But I kind of did it because I was like, fuck it. We just gotta we gotta do something. And I don't really care if we get punished. So bad mental. Then he jumps my ass. Hold on. Do I get any more positive points in this? Proper utilization of tools. Now let's go into negative points. Bad reaction against the Kench. Total lack of thought against the Kench. Like, I knew he was there, but I was just like, meh. I knew his danger and I knew his heat map. I just chose to stay there. So let's watch a little bit more and see if I was able to do literally anything. Or if it was just dummy. And it was just dummy. The end. So I'll get one more negative point for... I knew all of the parameters and I yet chose to be there. What is that? Straight into hardships. That's that one. When I know all the parameters and I still choose to be there. Walking straight into hardship for no real reason. It is one of my biggest downfalls, even though it only has what looks to be like 2 points. It is the thing that seals the deal on my games, really, I would say. It is the deal sealer. Yeah, it's the deal sealer. Alright, I choose to go this lane. Tam is there. Why did I choose to go to this lane? That's covered. That's covered. Don't need to go to either of those two. There's no reason for me to cover a different type of play. I just need some gold. We have good heat map understanding that there could be danger in here. Did we see him on a ward? How do I know that information? Let's see. Didn't see him on a ward. I'm ducking in here. Good fucking play, Nene. You know, you kinda sold yourself by face tanking this bush a little bit. So I will say that you lacked an understanding in heat maps. Oops, that's supposed to be a 5. You lacked an understanding in heat maps, but you've totally fucking had an awesome understanding in heat maps. So I'll give you a point there too. And a flavor point, because you kind of just knew. You kind of just knew that they were there, but you didn't really react to it. You were like, fuck it, let's go into hardship. So equalizing the points, but nonetheless, still proud of you, Nene, because you've got thoughts going through your brain. Bam! That's the point. We're positive now. That wasn't bad. It could have been bad, but 3-2 shows room for improvement. Alright, CSing like normal. We aren't choosing the current speed that we're CSing right now properly. What is the proper speed? Oh, we know that we saw Aurora mid, and the chances are that 2 people are coming after us. That's what's going through my head right now. I'm like, 2 people are on their way to come kick my ass right now. That's what's going through my head. I know that they're coming to kick my ass. W. Did she walk through my fucking W? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I want to see that again.
Take shape.
Oh, she kind of did a little bit.
feel its pull.
Just all of a sudden, she's now on this side. Sure. Sure, she's on this side now. But, they've got no hard CC. Nene fucks with their brains, and he's out of there. Okay, let's talk about that. Heat mapping. I had it in the bag. I knew exactly what the heat map was. Lack of thought. So much lack of thought. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew that I was going to try and react to it. Adaptation. I'll give myself an adaptation point. Fuck yeah. Tools. An engagement point. That's probably like a good play in essence, just because like I engaged the enemy to do something somewhere, which gave us like a bit of time. But now I'm gonna get into the negatives, which are so many. Let's see. Poor mental. Going straight into hardship for no real reason, no real exact plan. Um, did I give myself a negative adaptation point right there? I think I accidentally put it in the negative category. Don't know. Don't care. All that matters is that these are rough general numbers. Then the rest of the negatives in here are, I guess, I'm not going to say overconfidence, but yeah, I was like, I'll handle this situation. Uh, I just don't like what I did here. I just don't like it. I think it's a poor adaptation to the game at the very least. I don't know. And fucking, I don't know. We're at the end here. I'm do another minus point just because I do not like seeing that out of me. But it worked, and it didn't. It is not a negative impact to the game, I'll say at the very least. I know Fiora is coming. I say, I wonder if I can get into the tower range in time. Can't. The end of that story. Get my back off. Drop my R top. Oh, I don't like this. I remember this one. I know she was around here. Try and engage her. Drop my W. Oh, yeah, that cannon. That cannon. I just was like, I was in my head having this conversation like, please don't be in tower range. Please don't be in tower range. Please don't be in tower range. And then it was, and I did not react at all. Then I found out it had hull breaker. Didn't react at all. Realized I was so fucking dead. And I just dropped my maiden in top lane. Like, oh, I was so upset here. So upset. So upset. Minus an adaptation point. Minus a reaction speed point. I had a decent amount of thought, but I'm not gonna rank it either way. Danger heat map engagement. I thought I was kind of decent in those other areas. Tools, this shit. Minus 2 points, I think. Sure. Born out of a poor mental, minus 3 points. Just that cannon, then having hull breaker, and then being in range. Even if it didn't have hull breaker, it just being in range, I was pissed. I was pissed, and my first thought was, no way, this is reality. I'm not going to accept it. And that was my thought process. Speed this shit up. I want to get out of here, dude. I've been doing this for too damn long. Choose lane. I went top. I don't disagree with it, but I don't think it was born out of choice. Got all my minions here. Actually, I like what I'm doing here. I think I remember this a little bit. I am speed pushing. Okay, so this is, it has thought behind it. I'm trying to pull a Fiora so then I can help my team on a team play. Pulled the Fiora, walked over vision. I understand that I'm in danger here, and I get the fuck out. Baiter into them, and cause mischief. Okay. Pause before we get into this part. Let's see. Good lane choice. We had good pushing speed as well. I just wanted to pull Fiora, which means an engagement point. Then I knew that I was in danger due to good heat mapping. Um, Time to get into the negatives. Minus CSing point, just because I didn't ascertain enough gold out of all that playing. I gotta be thinking, what's next, what's next, what's next? Backing saying, wait a minute, a minute. Mm-mm-mm. Ended up getting caught, so I'm just gonna do bad reaction in the end. And you're like, Nene, earlier your reaction thing was much more micro. Yeah, we're in a larger game now, so we're gonna skip that exact part and just say yes, bad reaction speed. Um, Lack of thought probably is more proper in that category, but I'm pretty done. This video is way too fucking long. Lack of thought, overconfidence, underconfidence, hardship, reaction, use eyes, lane choice, adaptation, like a minus adaptation point. Anything else? Blah, 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 blah. Done, I think. And then this part, like that right there, I was out, and for some reason I was looking for an angle for this Samira to go in and kill them all, as if none of these other players existed. I'm so lucky that everything is just 1 point, because that play is worth like minus 10 trillion. And am I alive again? Okay, I am alive again. So we'll go to mark that as terrible mental. Use your fucking eyes, Nene. Overconfidence in the scenario for some dumb reason, because I have a lack of thought and my mental's terrible. And I'm not adapting to the situation at hand. And then not ascertaining the danger distances or what our heat map should be. And the flavor of my own team and own play. And going straight into hardship. That one feels different than how I would normally rank it, but this is a mark 35.1 or something like that, so I'm not worried. And the last play of the game. Let's take a look. Last play. Yorick is up. Don't mind me going topside here. That's excellent. I should be meat shielding a little bit here. Land an E. W late. If I had better reaction speeds, it would have been good. She's getting hit. I'm doing what I can. I take that, cause them to get damaged, then he dies. My bad. Oh, he doesn't die. Cool. They take the tower. I think I used what tools I could. I mean, I'll give myself a 10 on the reaction, and then a -1 for engagement. I could have been a little bit more engaging, probably. And a +1 for mental, because I, was still trying my bestest at that point. And let's tally up our totals. Equals sum, enter. 87 equals sum, enter. 35. Dang. Equals sum of these two. Oops. Equals sum. Enter. 122. Out of the 122 points allotted this game, I had 35 total good positive points, which is this divided by this. I played at 28% of Nene's capacity. Hold on. 28%. 28% Nene. Alright, that's pretty sucky. Um, let's take a look out here. Hold on. That's the sound I was looking for, but the one that's supposed to be sounding more negative.
Oh, what is this? Sleep hasn't been helping.
Well, you get the point. That's the end. Bang. Done. Have a good day. Oh, also, just remember that all of this is done out of love for oneself and one's play, and one's want to get better. And this is a healthy coping mechanism towards frustration rather than taking it out on your fellow league mates. And I mean, is it realistic to do all the time? No. But you'll save yourself some losses if you just, hop into one of your replays and just watch it and give yourself a truthful eye. So, always remember that a bird who's afraid to fall may never fly, and have a nice day. Peace.